Have you guys ever had a conversation or a time when you're talking to a friend when you just didn't know the correct words to say? Well, I'm here to reassure you that that is okay. There's a whole other side of the conversation. Listening. Today, I'm gonna go through three types of listening, and then at the end, I'll go over some tips for how to listen more effectively. The first type of listening is listening for information. When you're doing this, you're listening for directions or someone is telling you what to do and how to do it. Students do this all the time. As well as students, this is actually the number one most common type of listening when dealing with occupations. Some things you need to remember when you're listening for information is to look for the main point and then the supporting details. Much of a much of a much of a message could be complicated, but if you get that main point and then go to the supporting details from that, you should be able to make sense from it. Don't judge the person that's talking to you or that you are listening to. If you need to, withhold your judgment till the end. Repeat what you've heard. An example of this, if the supervisor told you to go build, stock, and then close the build and stock shelves and then close the door when you leave, you could just say to him, okay, so you want me to build the shelves, stock the shelves, and then close the door when I leave? That way you understood exactly what he wants you to do. Lastly, but not least, is take notes. My students were really good at this. We've gotten super good at this over time. Um, you know how this goes. Don't write down everything. Uh, take your time. Write down what you need to, just so you can remember in the future. The second type of listening is evaluative listening. This is like if a manager was listening to a sales pitch. You definitely want to gather information before about what this person is coming to speak to you. This can actually help you figure out what this person's credentials are. When he leaves, you don't really when he's there, you don't really want to go, okay, what are your credentials? But maybe you could say, could you please tell me a little bit of your company? And that way you could know if this person has had experience in this field or if this person is just blowing you smoke. The third type of listening is listening to help. Um, I do this. I don't do this a ton, but this is my number one most. I have the most trouble with this one, just because I'm supposed to talk less and nod and make sure that that person really knows that I'm listening to them. Because usually when you're listening to help, it's about something very important. Use a variety of response styles. You want to be reassuring. You want to be caring, but you definitely want to ask questions and maybe even give that person a new look on what he's actually talking about or what he thinks he knows so well. You want to take your time. Don't rush the speaker. Prompt him with "uh-huh" and go on if you must, but don't stop him short when you're listening to help. Make sure you get all the details. Which brings us to some listening tips. To listen more effectively, you want to minimize distractions. Close the door. Don't answer your phone. Don't be texting when you're talking to people. I hate that, and I'm sure you all do too. You've all had times when people are when people are texting while you're talking to them. It's just frustrating. Pay attention to nonverbal cues. Sighs are nonverbal. Um, sighs might not be nonverbal. But like head nods and head shakes are definitely nonverbal. Shoulder shrugs are nonverbal. Um, you want to ask questions if you need to. There's a saying that the only bad question is a question that's already been asked. So be careful of that. Make sure you pay attention to their answers and really it's hard to ask questions about questions you've already asked, so make sure you keep your questions succinct, specific, and you can get the answers that you need right out of them. The last one that I have the most trouble with is talk less. To be an effective listener, you can't be talking. Um, try to try to look in their eyes and give them your full attention. Which brings us to our activity. This is what I'm going to do. Um, you're going to go into partners, and between the two partners, you're going to need a pencil and a notebook, and we're going to have all of you, the ones with the notebook, be facing the back of the room, and the ones with the notebook, the ones without the notebook, let's face the front. And I'm going to go to my next slide. Now your task is to explain and talk through this picture and have, I don't think I have to. Can I stop? Bye.